Former Veterans Minister Johnny Mercer has sensationally hit out at the government after being sacked from his position yesterday evening. Describing his colleagues as cowards and children, he attacked ministers for letting down the armed services. He added politics was a bit of a cesspit. Mr. Mercer was told to quit after expressing frustration at a lack of progress over legislation to protect British veterans who served during the Troubles in Northern Ireland. The Plymouth Moorview MP had been involved in the Overseas Operations, Service Personnel and Veterans Bill, which aims to protect those who have served in the armed forces from historic prosecution. However, Northern Ireland veterans will be excluded from protection under the legislation which is being voted on in the Commons today. Mr. Mercer was ready to resign from his position in protest and was planning to do so in the Commons during today's debate, bringing maximum embarrassments for the government. He was relieved of his position before he had the chance to quit. In an explosive interview following his sacking, Mr. Mercer called the government the most distrustful, awful environment I've ever worked in. Speaking on Times Radio, he said, "Looking solemn at Armistice Day is not just good enough anymore. We have to deliver for these people. We have a huge challenge looking after the Afghan and Iraq cohort. We have to get this right, and I will do everything right to ensure that we can." He added, "If I am made to feel like I'm the last man in the room who's willing to fulfill our manifesto commitments, there's something wrong. We reached that point, so I left." At the 2019 general election, the Conservatives pledged to do more to give veterans the protections they deserve in relation to the Troubles. The reality is that for these people, their experiences after having served this nation, 50 years later, they are constantly being dragged over to Northern Ireland and asked to relive their experiences. It is people are drinking themselves to death. He continued, "It is breaking up families. It is ruining our finest people. And all they did was serve at the behest of this government, at the behest of the House of Commons, to uphold the rule of law on the peace and win the peace in Northern Ireland. And yet now we're happy to cut them off to people who want to rewrite history. And that is all that's going on. You know that nothing's changed here, but the politics. And for me, it's a gross betrayal of people who signed up to serve in the military." In a letter to Mr. Mercer, Boris Johnson praised the real difference the Plymouth Moorview MP has made to the lives of defense personnel and veterans. "You have highlighted the importance of legislating to protect our armed forces against vexatious and repeated claims. The conclusion of the enactment of the Overseas Operations Bill is a crucial part of that, addressing veterans who have served overseas," the Prime Minister wrote. "We are committed to doing more over the coming months, including for those who have served in Northern Ireland." Mr. Mercer has been replaced as Veterans Minister by Leo Doherty, a former Scots Guards. Defence Secretary Ben Wallace said he is delighted to welcome Mr. Doherty to the department. He will be taking up one of the most important roles, championing our veterans and service personnel. Mr. Wallace said, "Leo comes with a wealth of experience both of the armed forces, having served in Afghanistan, and of politics. I know that he will do an excellent job."